Namaste yogis, welcome. Thank you so much for watching. So for today's class, you're gonna need your chair, 2 or 3 blankets, and your pillow or bolster, and also have a strap handy. And actually, if you can keep your strap nearby so that you can get it while we are on chair Shavasana. So we're gonna go ahead and prop ourselves up. If you need extra blankets to get your legs at a 90-degree angle, just go ahead and place them. If you have blocks available, they can also work for that. Scoop yourself as close to your prop as you can so that you can allow your hips to land right below your knees. Allow your shoulders to be grounded. And bring your hands by your sides. Draw your blades together and release. Close your eyes and take a couple of long, deep breaths. You want to bring the awareness to your feet and allow your toes and foot soles to be relaxed. Make sure that the top of the feet and ankles you get to feel. Sometimes you feel a breeze of air. Sometimes you get some tingling sensation. Just focus on the area and it right away talks to you. You'll notice. Then bring the awareness onto your lower legs, your shins, your calves. And move the awareness a little higher onto your knees and soften the knees, the front, the back of the knees. Pay attention if your thighs are still engaged and relax them as you take your next exhalation. Relax the back of your legs, your buttocks, and allow your hips to be heavy. The more you practice chair Shavasana, the more you start noticing how balanced your hips and shoulders start getting. And don't worry if it's not. Sometimes you feel so balanced one day, and then depending what you have been doing, the rest of the day is what's going to show up the next day. But overall, as you continue to practice, you will notice that your joints balance a little bit faster, that your spine decompresses on the floor also a little faster. You want your lower back, mid back, and upper back on the ground. And so don't worry about the curvature of the spine. We will do more stuff during the class that will allow your spine to go back to neutral. For now, we just wanted to release. Feel the weight of your shoulders and your arms. Let them just relax. Your fingers curl naturally into your palms, no tension, no effort, just relaxation. Soften your neck, make sure that it's elongated but not flat on the floor. Soften your face, the muscles around your eyes. If your eyelids are closed, maybe you roll your eyes towards the forehead, making sure it doesn't burn or overly stretch. And you might get a sensation like if you were falling down. And that's just because we are sinking into the depths of the mind. Make sure your jaw is relaxed and you have a little bit of space between your teeth. To prevent your teeth from clenching, you can place the tip of the tongue at the space between your gums and the inside of your teeth. And just rest your tongue there. How are you breathing this morning? Is your breath short and shallow? Or perhaps as soon as you turn the awareness to the breath, you notice that it naturally elongates. If it doesn't, Just keep observing it, and it will. And for a few moments, you're going to continue to breathe here on your chair Shavasana, just observing the breath. If you need to make any subtle adjustments, you're welcome to do that. I'll leave you to it. Watch your breath. Rising and falling. I trust that you guys can hear me. If not, you please let me know. I will be checking every now and then the comments. On your next breath, start expanding into the lower parts of your tummy, into your lower back. Exhale, let all the air go. Again, breathing in right into your tummy, into your lower back. Exhale, release. Next time you inhale, send the breath into your lower tummy, into the lower parts of your belly, and on your lumbar spine, your lower back, and then a little higher onto your chest, into your mid back. And when you exhale, release your mid back, your belly, and finally the lower parts of your body. As you breathe in, send all the breath down into your tummy, lower back, mid back, and this time carry the breath all the way up into your chest, your upper back. Expanding into your shoulders. And as you exhale, let your breath go from the shoulders, from the chest, and from your belly. Focus on the lower body, on the back body. Inhale into the lower back, mid back, upper back, shoulders. Exhale from shoulders, upper back, mid back, and finally lower back. We'll take 3 more breaths like this. When you finish with your 3rd breath, wiggle your fingers, move your arms out to the sides at a T position, and just pay attention how it feels once your arms go out. If you feel your rib cage is popping forward and you want to relax it again on the floor, relax your jaw, relax your face. Now keep your arms relaxed, but your elbows still extended. And on your next exhalation, bring your right arm up. As you inhale, bring your arm overhead. As you exhale, arm comes back up. And as you inhale, bring it out to the side, back to a T position. Exhale, left arm up. Inhale, left arm overhead. Exhale, arm back up. Inhale, back to T position. Exhale, right arm up. Inhale, arm overhead. Exhale, arm back up. Exhale, inhale, back to a T position. Think about contraction as you inhale, as your arm squeezes towards your armpit. Think about expansion as you inhale, as your arm move away, expanding into your chest. Exhale, think about squeezing as your arm comes up, letting all the air out. And as you inhale, think about the expansion of your arm, go back out to the side. Continue alternating. On the exhalation, the arm comes up. On the inhalation, the arm goes overhead. As you exhale, your arm returns up. And as you inhale, bring it back out to the side at a T position. Find your rhythm. You're going to do one more round on each side. You started with the right arm, so when your left arm returns to the floor, relax and observe. Don't let your mind wander. Pay attention if your legs are engaged or your glutes and you want to let them go. Pay attention how your hips sit on the ground. If you feel crooked or you feel even. How about your shoulders? How about your jaw? Are you tensing your jaw or clenching your teeth? Can you let go of your facial muscles and smooth the space between the eyebrows? Inhale deeply here. And as you exhale, bring your arms both towards the sky. As you take your next inhalation, bring your arms overhead. Notice the movement of your shoulder blades. Remember, there is never a goal to touch the floor here. Don't let your ribcage pop forward. Exhale, bring your arms up. And on the inhalation, you return out to the sides at a T position. Keep your arms relaxed and try to create the movement right from your blades. The next time you exhale, bring your arms back up, overhead as you inhale. Exhale up. Inhale out to the sides. Find your rhythm. How much your legs and your glutes are trying to help your arms and shoulders. How much tension are you bringing to your arms and hands? Can you let go of them and still keep your elbows sort of extended? Keep your hands relaxed. Make sure this is not putting any tension on your neck, which, by the way, is extended yet is not flat on the floor. You might start creating a fluid motion that matches the pace of your breath. No goal of touching the floor, whether you bring your arms back or out to the sides. See if you can relax your arms a little more. Keep relaxing your legs and your glutes, your face and your jaw. Do you feel one shoulder blade working more than the other? Is that arm going a little farther than the other one, maybe faster? Can you slow it down a bit and match your non-dominant side? Last round. Finish your round, and when your arms go back out to the sides, release them on the floor and observe. Send your breath and awareness down to your feet. Observe your feet. Are they relaxed? How about your lower legs? Any sensations on your knees today? Do you have any involuntary movement going on along the legs? Maybe it's your upper legs. Are your glutes relaxed, or are they still trying to help? Do you feel a little even on your hips? And how about your lower back? Is it flat on the floor? Usually by now you feel very grounded on your spine. Notice the sensations along your back. If there is one part of your spine that doesn't touch the floor, the next time you inhale, send your breath right into that spot and fill up that space with prana. So you're not pressing your back onto the floor, you're just expanding with your breath into that space. Exhale, let all the air go. This area is most likely that carries some tension, so let us breathe into that space. Inhale. Fill up the gap between your back and the floor if you find any. Otherwise, breathe all along the back. And exhale, let all the tension go. One more breath like this. Inhale deeply, close the gap with your breath. Exhale, let all the air go. Notice your shoulders being grounded. How about your arms and your hands? Is your neck relaxed? Or perhaps you're still putting some tension there. Some of us have that tendency, so make sure you adjust your head. That will change most likely the adjustment of your head. For some of us will change the whole alignment of the spine. So notice what your head is doing. You want your face parallel to the floor. One of the tendencies is to tilt the pelvis sideways, looking sideways. So paying attention if the nose is pointing straight up or to the side. And then with that awareness, keeping the jaw and the face relaxed, we'll take 3 more breaths here on Chair Shavasana. Breathing in, filling up from the toes, every corner of the body to the crown of the head. You can visualize the energy, rising energy of prana. When you exhale, grounding energy of apana from the crown of the head to the toes, let all the air go. Rising as you inhale from toes to crown. Falling as you exhale from crown to toes. One more breath. Rising. Falling. Wiggle your toes and fingers. Move your feet and hands. Gonna bring your blanket to the side, have it handy, and with control move the chair out of the way. Be careful. If you need to come up to push your chair, that's fine too. And when you are ready, come back to center. Relax your hands, relax your legs, and observe your breath. And the moment your legs extend, you might get some sensation along the lower back, across the hips. So you do want to make sure that you adjust and tuck your tailbone, and then extend your legs once again, making sure that it's not putting any pressure here. If that's not enough, then keep your knees bent and your foot soles on the floor. You can also allow your feet to stay hip distance apart, and your knees, maybe let them relax at the center. Whatever works today, no right or wrong, just make sure it's suitable and breathe while you find that perfect place to stay. We'll take one more breath here, full deep breath. And when you are ready, bend your knees, bring your foot soles on the floor, and have your toes and your knees pointing forward. Allow your knees to have about fist distance apart. You can bring your big toes to touch and let your heels go slightly out to the sides, and then adjust your feet so your toes point forward. So then you will have more or less fist distance apart between the toes and the knees. Now when you are ready, keep your hands by your sides. Press the tailbone on the floor and arch your lower back on the inhalation. Feel the space between the lower back and the floor, and do your very best to press your rib cage down. Now as you exhale, press the small of the back on the floor and squeeze your bum, tuck your tailbone, don't lift your hips. Squeeze all the air out, press your navel onto the floor, don't let your knees move in or out. Awesome. As you inhale, press your tailbone onto the floor, arch your back. So once again, you want space between the lower back and the floor. Release your rib cage on the ground. Maybe activate your feet, bring your toes up, maybe spread them wide. And when you're ready to exhale, press your lower back onto the floor. Squeeze your bum, tuck your tailbone, press the sacrum on the ground, press, press, press. And inhale once again. So find your rhythm. And once you go into your arch, pay attention if you have the tendency to use the rib cage like I do. So very clear picture here, but then you release the rib cage onto the floor and feel the demand going right into your lower back. Then when you exhale, you press the small of the back, tuck the tailbone going onto a posterior tilt, squeeze your bum, keep pressing your back, no lifting the hips. And do 5 more, count your own. When you are done with your 5 pelvic tilts, you're going to come back to center. Keep your foot soles on the floor. Maybe rest your knees towards each other. You can keep your feet and knees fist distance apart. And breathe. On your next breath, take your strap and place it on the ball of the right foot. Extend your leg. And you want to give yourself enough length of the strap so that your arms are not reaching forward and we're not rounding our shoulders and our back. And instead, we keep the shoulders and elbows down. Now from here, you may bring your thighs together, so you want to have them at the same level. Keep flexing your foot. And you flex right from the ankle. So sometimes what we do is we still point the foot, but then we curl the toe. So we really want to make sure the stretch comes from the ankle to get it right from the Achilles tendon and all the way into, some of you will feel it all the way to the glute. So when you are ready, as you inhale here, press your tailbone onto the floor. Keep your rib cage down. And as you exhale, press the small of the back onto the floor, squeeze your bum, and press the sacrum down. Make sure that your shoulders are not trying to do the work. If you can, rest the elbows by your sides. Inhale, press the tailbone down. Keep your left foot active. Your left toes might be lifted. Exhale, press the small of the back onto the floor, squeeze your bum. 3 more for a total of 5. Inhale. Two more. Watch for your rib cage, especially if you know you have the tendency to flare the rib cage. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, come back to neutral. Now rotate your toes out to the right. And you can hold the strap with the right hand if you wish. If that, or your strap or your scarf, whatever you have to support your foot here. And we're going to do again our 5 pelvic tilts with that outer external rotation of your hip. And as you inhale, press your tailbone down. Notice your pelvis, so try to press evenly your hips onto the floor. And exhale, press back, lower back down. So you might feel leaning towards the right, so try not to let that happen. We'll do 5 pelvic tilts, so 4 more. Rib cage down. So a lot of things to look for here. Make sure that none of these movements of the spine are upsetting your neck, because sometimes the compensation happens all the way to the upper body. Your left foot, it's still engaged, so you're still having your toes active, maybe lifted. Make sure you're pressing the left glute or the left side of your body as much as the right. When you are done with your 5 rounds, come back to neutral with your pelvis. Rotate your toes towards the left. You may hold the strap with the opposite hand. Watch for your hip. Make your toes may not look they're pointing to the left, but you know you are internally rotating your hip. The way that's going to look in your body, it's not important. You want to think about your thigh moving inward. So your kneecap and your toes need to be pointing on the same direction, regardless how deep your rotation goes. That's something to look for, because sometimes we get too attached to the picture and then we really want the toes to point in. And you can make that happen, believe me, but at the expense of your knee. So be super mindful of that. And once you find that place that is not torquing the knee nor the hip, then we do our 5 more breaths, pelvic tilt. So when you're ready, press the tailbone as you inhale. And the small of the back as you exhale. By the way, that rule of toes and knee pointing on the same direction applies for internal and external rotation of the hip. Depending what is prominent in you, the other one you will want to exaggerate it maybe so that you feel you're really going into that opposite rotation, but you will be. Just might not look like it is. When you're done with your 5 pelvic tilts with that inner rotation of your hip, bring your toes back to center and let go of the strap. Release your leg onto the floor and observe. Notice if there is any difference in the sensations on your right leg, your left leg. And maybe your right leg feels closer to the floor, maybe longer, maybe lighter. Now when you're ready, bend your knees, bring your foot soles on the floor. And once again, you're going to have toes and knees pointing forward. Readjust your body on the floor if needed. And place the strap on the ball of the left foot. Extend your leg. And before we go any further, remember you want your thighs at the same level. So if you are super flexible. You might want to look like this, but we're not going to go there. Right foot is active. Your legs can go together or slightly apart, hip distance. So just check what works for you. You just want the thighs balanced here. Elbows might be down onto the floor. And with your toes pointing straight forward here or towards your forehead, if you like. Gonna do 5 pelvic tilts. As you inhale, arch your back. And as you exhale, press the small of the back, squeeze the bum. Let all the air go. 4 more. Inhale. Rib cage down. And exhale. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Next time you inhale, return to center and turn your toes out towards your left. You can hold the strap with your left hand. Remember, your legs are at the same level. And when you are ready, 5 pelvic tilts. Inhale, arching your back, pressing onto the right side so that you feel even. You tilt your pelvis even. And when you exhale, press down onto the floor. Maybe squeeze your bum. See if you can get right and engage those muscles. Inhale and exhale. 3 more. And when you are done with your 5 rounds, we're going to go into that internal rotation of the hip. So toes turn inwards towards the right. Hold the strap with the right hand. And once again, check in with your hip, with your knee, with your ankle. When you're ready, 5 pelvic tilts. We're working with the internal rotation of the hip, but you will feel the outer line of your hamstring, maybe your IT band. And when you are done with your 5 tilts, you're gonna release, come back to center, take your strap away, and then release your feet and your legs down. Hands by your sides, palms face up. We'll take one more breath, full deep breath. Now when you are ready, bend your knees, bring your foot soles on the floor. And maybe tuck your tailbone a little bit. Walk your feet mat width apart. Have your strap handy. And on your next exhalation, allow your knees to fold towards your left. And you're going to feel the stretch on the right hip flexor. You might get a little bit of demand on your lower back. You don't want to force that knee onto the floor, so make sure it feels right and your right shoulder stays on the floor. You can bring your knee higher. If you have a pillow, bolster, something that you want to put under that right knee, if you want that extra support, do that. The weight goes to the edges of your feet, so outer edge of your left foot, inner edge of your right foot, so that your knees and your toes still point on the same direction. Now, the next part of the stretch is reach your arms overhead. If that works for your shoulders, you stay here. If that's too much, T position is fine. So you will notice that if your arms go up, the stretch go a little higher. And so just play around with the position of the arm. Just don't overdo it. If you give your body the chance, the body will give you more eventually. Just don't force it right now. If it's not wanting to do something, it's fine. Just keep it. Now when you are ready, start hinging towards your left side, just a little bit, and hold onto the right wrist with your left hand. If that is a no thank you for your shoulders, you can also use your strap for extra support, and then you can still keep your arms shoulder width apart, but still move them, sorry for all the noise, and you can still move them towards the left and get that stretch. So playing around with the position of the arms, keeping the right shoulder on the floor at all times. Adjust your head so it suits your neck, and then breathe. Make sure your breath is flowing with ease. If your breath gets choppy, you are overdoing it, so make sure you adjust. We're gonna take one more breath here, full deep breath. With control, you can let go of the strap if you have one. Return to center with your shoulders. And slowly and mindfully bring your knees up, heel to your feet closer together, extend your legs, and observe. Notice how your breath shifts when you find your center. We're going to work with the other side. So when you're ready, bend your knees, bring your footstools on the floor, and walk your feet mat width apart. Once again, at your own time, roll your knees towards the other side, now towards the right. The weight goes to the edges of your feet, and your arms will go anywhere that feels right for the shoulders. You may be holding onto the strap. Maybe move your body a little more towards your upper body, towards the left. These are only options. You don't have to. Oh. Did I do it backwards? I think I did. I think it's towards the right. Like, I don't feel anything here. And breathe. Adjust your head so it supports your neck. Watch your breath. Don't let your mind wander. If your body's asking for an adjustment, please listen to it. Remember, you can have a prop under the left knee for extra support. Stay away from any torquing sensation, pinching sensation. This is the way your body's telling you, please don't go there. You know how we always talk about compassion in yoga? It starts with that, with the asana, when the body is asking to please not do something, and then we just dismiss it because the mind is telling you, no, it needs to look this or that way. And so sensation is fine, and you feel the stretch is okay, but always being, kind to the muscles and joints. Otherwise, your nerves will make you pay for it later anyway. So we're going to take one more breath, full deep breath. And when you're ready, you may let go of your strap, if you have one. Bring your upper body back to center and be mindful as you bring your knees back up. Roll the weight back onto the foot soles. Heel to your feet closer together. Extend your legs. Relax and observe. And once again, once you find your center, notice how the center line of energy opens up, the Sushumna. So although we haven't been talking about energy today, we're still working with the lines of energy. So every time you close one side of the body and work with the other, when you find center, the breath just finds its flow once more. If you need any stretch right now, you're welcome to get it done. So maybe hug your knees and rock side to side, or go into a happy baby, or any stretch that feels good. And when you are ready, move onto your favorite side and lay on a fetal position for a few moments. Use your top hand to slowly help yourself up on your next exhalation. We're going to seal our practice with the sound and vibration of Om. We'll take a breath together first. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Inhale to Om. Inhale to the top of your lungs. Side out. Again. Side out. Last one, inhale. Let all tension out. Tuck your chin onto your chest and blink your eyes open. Rub your hands together. Get all those good vibes all around you. And remember to use that energy to shake off whatever is that you don't need anymore. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a wonderful day. Namaste, yogis.